Junior Jewels, I'm Carly.
And I'm Jess, and we are the hosts of Typical Tuesday Night,
a Taylor Swift podcast.
Hello, and welcome back to the Typical Tuesday Night podcast. I'm Jess.
And I'm Carly. And we wanted to say a big thank you to everybody for our big Opalite week last week. It was a lot of work, but you guys have loved it, which has been really, really fun to see. We put out a lot of content just surrounding Opalite and the music video in general, and it was really fun. So if you have not, listened, watched, done all the things with that, we, just as like a little recap, we did our Opalite music video deep dive. We found so many Easter eggs. It was insane. It was fun. We even saw comments on like our YouTube and people were like, I thought I had seen all of them, but you guys found some that I had not found. So
fun.
Yes, I love when that happens. Yes. We also were able to drop our Opalite reaction video, which was really, really fun. We watched the Opalite music video together and then filmed our reactions, and it was fun to like go back. It almost was more fun in a way to like see it later. Like a month later. Because
I felt the same.
When I was watching, I was like, oh yeah, like that was my initial reaction to this music video. And I'm sure a lot of you kind of had similar first reactions. So I think that would be fun for you guys to go watch. Both of those are on YouTube. And I saw somebody else on YouTube comment and say, I've never been able to see the red stapler until your guys' video pointed out. So I definitely think the YouTube is worth watching because it's able to like show you exactly where those Easter eggs are. So hopefully that was helpful. And then if you're into clowning, which who is not into clowning? It's so much fun. But I feel like we do, I'm going to like toot our own horn really quick. I feel like we do a really good job because clowning is exhausting. It really truly is. So we do all the exhausting work for you. We scoured the internet for hours and hours, found some of the best clowning theories, and we compiled them all into like a little over an hour. It was almost like an hour and a half, actually.
Yeah.
Podcast episode. And so that you guys don't have to do all the work, we're going to put all the clowning in a nice little package wrapped up in a bow for you. So that is a subscriber episode, though. So if you're interested in that, either subscribe on Apple or head to our Patreon. And all of those details are linked below in the show notes as well for easy access.
Yes. And I am going to read a quick review from one of our Junior Jewels.
Okay.
So it says, the greatest podcast for Taylor fans, new and old. I've been following Taylor forever, but don't really have tons of close Swiftie friends. Now it feels like I do. I love hearing these gals' opinions and the hard facts during their deep dives. Amazing work. Keep it up. Can't wait to join the Patreon.
Aw, so many great things. Nice. Yes, thank you. We love that. So today's episode, we're excited. I was like, don't say you're excited, but I am. And we need to come up with more words, but apparently we don't have any. We are excited though, because today we are talking about the Miss Americana documentary. Yes. This came out during the Lover era, so we thought this would be like a good time to talk about it. It is available to watch on Netflix. So if you have not seen it and you have Netflix, great. I had seen it when I had Netflix. We don't have Netflix anymore. And I was able to find something online. So if you have...
Questionably.
Yeah, questionably.
She probably has a bunch of viruses on her phone or
on my
computer
phone.
now.
But at this point, it's like, cool. Well, now I actually thought that. And I was like, well, I guess if my phone's ruined, time for a new phone.
It was really fun to watch again.
It was.
Yeah.
Especially so far removed.
Surprised me.
Like, I remembered a lot of it, but I also, like, things stood out differently this time, which is just like how we do our series in general. Like, things stand out to you differently years later.
Yeah. And interesting to, like, watch that again after just having watched the newest documentary.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Yeah, that was fun.
We'll talk about that.
Before we jump in, though, we are going to take a minute to talk about today's podcast sponsors. So our first sponsor today is Get Out Pass.
Yes. So Get Out Pass, we talked about before, they are a company that they actually just launched a new app and a new website, which is really cool. You can go and find your location anywhere around the United States, and you can get, it's like a yearly pass. and it allows you to go out in your community and do a bunch of different activities for free that is included with your pass. So we've done things like bowling, arcades, comedy shows, concerts. If you are local to Utah, you can get it with Lagoon included, which is such, like, if you are going to go to Lagoon once, it makes financial sense for you to just buy this pass. You can get skiing on there, Real games, other sporting events. Like, there is so many different options. So it's really fun if you're like, I want to try new things. I want to get out and do things with my family, but I'm not really sure where to start. You can get this pass, and then it just gives you tons of activities you can do throughout the year.
Yeah, so fun and perfect timing to get one too, like with summer coming and the
Yes.
kids being out of school and like being like, what are we gonna do
Yeah.
with all this time?
For
So
real.
fun. So if you want to get your own Get Out Pass, you can use code TTM Podcast for a discount. And if they're ever doing like sales or anything, our code will always be bigger than any sale. The code can fluctuate,
Yeah.
but it's always going to be higher than any sale that they run. So
Yes.
that's kind of nice.
Very nice. We love that. And then our next podcast sponsor for today is Just Ingredients.
Yes, I love Just Ingredients and I use a lot of their products. I'm always raving about their supplements, but today I thought it'd be fun to talk about something newer, and
Oh,
I
yes.
personally have not tried it, but it is something that I am interested in. They actually have energy drinks, and they are like, I mean, energy drinks can be riddled with just like horrendous
Yeah.
ingredients.
Totally.
And so it's so nice, like, Just Ingredients. So if you aren't familiar with the brand, I wanted to like read a little thing about like, because we talk about them a lot, but I feel like we haven't like explained
Yeah.
the brand.
Totally.
So their products are designed to support real life. Each formula is crafted with intention, using carefully vetted ingredients and backed by their commitment to transparency, because choosing better products shouldn't feel overwhelming. It should feel empowering. So they very much lean into like the clean ingredients type thing, and they're trying to make things that you would typically buy or use a little more accessible and like a clean version. And so yeah, they have, I guess that they had like an energy drink before. They had lemonade flavor and raspberry rush flavor, but they just added 4 new flavors.
Cool.
Orange fizz, grape soda, sunrise splash, palmberry punch. Personally, like I'm like I should be better, but I also don't have like I don't spend a lot of time or energy like researching like what's better than this, what's better than that. And the nice thing about Just Ingredients is you can just go and you can always trust what they have, that
Yeah.
it's really good for you and clean.
Yeah.
So
Which is great. So if you want to try one of those out, you can use code TTN10 for 10% off your order at justingredients.com.
yes.
All right. Should we start chatting about this documentary?
Yes, let's
So,
do it.
we thought it'd be
Kinda gonna
fun.
go, like start to finish.
Yeah,
right?
I was like, yeah, we both watched it and took separate notes and thought we would just go start to finish and just kind of make this more like a casual chat about some of our thoughts about the documentary.
Yes.
Do you want to say anything to start or?
Yeah, so it's funny because this came out as part of the Lover era, but it's kind of fun. I mean, it talks about her career in general, but it's kind of fun because there's definitely, it's like between Rep and Lover, so we get some Rep content, we
Yeah.
get some Lover content. I was actually extremely impressed with the amount that they covered in an
Yeah.
hour and 25 minutes, where the new series is 6 episodes of
Yeah.
like 45 minutes long. I do feel like they did a pretty good job talking about a lot of things with her in such a short amount of time.
I agree.
But I think, I mean, I realized, like you said, we realized like new things watching it like back now. I forgot, and I do not think we've brought this up yet as part of our Lover series, but the meme music video and like the Lover era is when Taylor adopted Benjamin Button.
Oh, yeah.
And I like
I don't think we have
forgot.
talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like forgot about that because they showed it's at the beginning, like it shows Benjamin like climbing all over her piano.
Oh, uh-huh.
And he's so like tiny. And I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
like I'm pretty sure this is when she
That's
like
when she got
first
it.
got him. It
Yeah.
was so fun.
So fun. I also thought Taylor does a really good job about with her documentaries, like telling a story about what she has learned like during this process. And it was really cool to see. She kind of started to talk at the beginning about like my whole life started out is my belief that I needed to be a good girl. Like,
Yeah.
this is how I'm supposed to act. These are the things that I'm supposed to do. And just how much that impacted her. And especially then impacted her through the rep era. Everything that happened with Kanye. And then after. And then, I mean, we'll talk about this as we go. But then her being like, no, I need to make a stand. And stand up for what I believe in. And like, you know, get into politics a little bit. And it was just really cool to see that arc for
Yeah,
her and to
for
see
sure.
how much growth she has had. And so I just really loved the storytelling aspect of it, of her starting out saying, no, everything in my life was, I need to be
Yeah.
a good girl. And she talked about how praise was so important to her. Like,
Yeah, it was
I
everything
loved,
to her.
you know, having everybody clap for me. Like
Yeah.
that, you know, and one of the quotes she said is, I became the product of what everyone wanted me to be. And I was like, oh man, like
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that. I know I can in like a way.
Yeah.
But
And I'm sure that like it was a little hard for her because like she also became like somewhat like what she wanted to be.
yeah.
But I think because her intentions probably felt more fueled by other people than
Yeah.
necessarily herself, she felt a lot more that way, like more heavily.
Yeah.
So, I thought it was so funny when it was showing her like early career and it shows this little scene of her pointing and she's like, oh my gosh, Tim McGraw's number 60 on the Billboard charts. I'm
It's
like,
so
oh,
cute.
Mike
There
was
was
gonna tell her.
for reals though, for reals. There was like another part where they were her and her mom were in the car and they were like, yeah, like Sony Studio said they would listen to her music today. And Taylor's
Yeah,
like, yeah, like, you know, she was like on that phone or something. And I'm like, exactly, like who's going to tell her? Like
yeah,
you were over here just like, I gave my music to this company and they're going to listen to it. And I'm
yes,
so excited about that. Like that was everything. And now it's
yeah.
like, oh, honey, just wait for what's to come, which is
Well, and
cool.
yeah, and then I mean, also like, I mean, I'm jumping ahead just a little bit, but like there's a part where it's showing like it'll show the media talking really well
Oh,
about her, and then it shows the media talking really poorly about her. And this it showed the like quote from one of the news outlets that said that she is the music industry.
oh,
Like they were saying that all the way back then, and it's really cool to hear other people say that about her, you know, also hearing her, like seeing like where she started and she's like
yeah.
just hoping that people like labels will listen to her music or that, you know, asking fans to call and request her
I
song
know.
on the
I loved
radio
that.
and yeah, like
That
it's
like made me
so
tear up.
fun.
I was like,
know.
wait, this is like adorable, but honey, you have no idea what's coming. It's so cute.
Yeah.
There was another news station or whatever that it made me laugh too. They said, that girl is as big as it gets. And I think it was the Red era or maybe 1989, but I'm like,
Yeah.
none of us knew
None
what
of
was
us
coming.
know. Yeah.
Like, yeah, at the time she was as big as it gets. And
Yeah.
now I look back and I'm like, oh,
She wasn't
1989
even
Taylor.
near,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and like I did write down like 1989 was so explosive for her.
Yes,
Like
it was.
so explosive. I mean, she was super popular and successful pre 1989. And I kind of, okay, I kind of feel like 1989, like the Eras Tour is the new 1989.
Ooh, that's such a good way to put it.
So like 1989 was like explosive success, fame, like a huge jump and something that a lot of people probably thought, like, how is she ever going to top
Yeah.
this? And yeah, I feel like the era that we're in now and like the Eras Tour era, it's like we've said, like, how
Yeah.
is she ever going to
Top
do
that.
anything even remotely close to
Yeah.
this?
That's like,
So,
oh, I love that comparison. I think that is like
thanks.
spot on. Way to go, Jess. No, I'm serious. I'm like, no, because that's how
I
we
know, I'm
felt
proud of myself, but
about
I'm patting myself
1989,
on the back.
you know?
Yeah.
It was fun because there's like a lot of reputation tour, like things that we get throughout this documentary. And it was really cool. After the first show, she gets in the car and she says something to the fact of like, everyone was so happy watching it. And I'm
Yes.
just like, I love that she gets so excited to give to her fans, give
Well,
these
and
cool
you know what's
performances, and she sees that. Like, she can see us in the audience. And
yeah.
she said that with the Eras tour too. And it just, that
Well,
kind
that's
of
what I was just
reminded me
gonna
of that.
say. I actually just also like same day I watched this, I started the docuseries over again. I watched
Oh,
the first
fun.
episode. And so it's the episode where all the things happened, like Vienna
Oh,
and the other England things. And like she was so worried about getting back on stage after that.
yeah.
And she was having all this anxiety. And it shows her getting off the stage. And her first thing is, they like
Oh,
had so much fun. Like that was the best show ever because they were
yeah.
just so happy. And like her focus is so much on like
Yeah.
looking out and just seeing everybody
Yeah.
so happy.
She like wants to put on a good show for everybody.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Grammy call because
Every time, it
that,
doesn't matter how many times I watch
yes,
it, it's so hard to
I
watch.
think that is one of my biggest takeaways from the Miss Americana documentary. Like that
Yeah.
scene just stays with me. Like when people talk about
Hmm.
Miss Americana documentary, I'm like, oh yeah, the Grammy call.
Yeah.
Grammy nominations. So she gets a call about Grammy nominations and they basically tell her like, well, we haven't gotten the full list, but all the big main categories, you were not nominated for anything. And you can just tell it's almost like she's trying not to let it bother her. Like she's trying to be like,
Yeah.
okay, time to move on. But like
Yeah.
clearly that was very hard for her. And she
Yeah.
just goes, okay, I need to go make a better record. And
Yeah.
the person on the phone's like, it's a great record. Because it was at Tree on the phone.
I think so.
I get just assumed that. But she's like, no, like, it is a great record. And she's like, no, 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 I'm making a better record.
Yeah.
I the amount of pressure she puts on herself.
Hmm.
And I mean, I don't like blame her. I think that's just her personality. That's her drive. That's why she is so successful.
Yeah.
But that has got to be exhausting.
Yeah. I think that one was extra painful too, being the album that it was and the time of her life she was coming out of. She's literally coming out of hiding.
Yeah.
And she's probably back to looking for the clapping, looking for the
Yeah.
approval by her fans, by her peers. And she releases her first single, and all the fans are like, WTF is going on? And then,
So true.
then we've got Grammys, and it's not even that she didn't even win. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't even nominated. Like,
Yeah.
that's a huge step back, probably, is what it felt like.
Yeah. Well, and after 1989.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
that
you went from,
explosive growth.
yeah, explosive growth, album of the year to I'm not even nominated. Like, what happened? And that probably, like you said, was harder to hear after being in hiding. Like, okay,
Yes.
is my career over? Maybe, you know?
Yeah. I also thought that this was fun. I don't remember, it was somewhere around this part, but it was showing some like Reputation tour behind the scenes. And I don't know if you noticed this, but one of her outfits was a bodysuit that had one sleeve on the arm.
Really, I did not notice that.
And I like
You clocked it,
I'm like,
yeah,
maybe that, because I always was like, where did this rep
yeah.
bodysuit come from? Like, it feels so, I mean, obviously
Oh,
it feels rep, but it does feel a little like random, and also who
Yeah.
came up with this one leg situation.
Yeah.
Like, and so it's kind of fun to see, like, she did kind of something similar on that tour, and I didn't remember that
Yeah.
at
Oh, I
all.
didn't remember that either. That's cool. I did not notice
Yeah.
that either.
Um, yeah, and then we kind of jump into Lover songwriting. She basically says like, "I'm gonna make a better record," and
Yeah.
then
Here we go.
yeah, her and her storytelling.
I love watching her create her music.
I know. The
I
whole
like,
time, I just
yes.
thought the amount of money I would pay to be that man in that room with her and just watch her brain work.
Yes.
It's
It's
insane.
fascinating.
Yeah.
It is
To
so
watch
cool.
her work through it and come up
Yeah.
with it, and it's so cool.
Well, and it was so cool to see, like, I think she was writing Me, right? When she
Yeah.
first, and she goes, like, this is going to be the first single. It's funny to me that, like, immediately she knew this was the first single. And I'm like,
Yeah.
probably not your best choice, but that's okay. We love
Love
you,
it for
Tay.
you.
Yeah. But it was cool to see her, like, trying to figure it out on the piano. And she said, like, it sounds sadder on the piano, but, like, I'm thinking this. And it's so cool to see the producer understand what she wants, go
Yes.
and, like, add all these instrumentals and be able to see that process and hear
Yeah.
the difference. I was like, oh, this is so fascinating. Can I just watch this with
Yes.
every single song?
Seriously, it's so cool.
Yeah.
I also thought it was interesting when she had the meeting with her label. This was like specifically a big deal because this was her first album with her new label where she owned the music and was hopefully going to be calling more of the shots. She'd also she's expressed in the past not really feeling like she has say in certain things, like how many songs are going to be on the album. And so she sits down with them and she tells them that there will probably be about 20 songs on the album, and they all just clap.
I know.
And she's like, oh, good. Like, I'm glad that that's your reaction. But I also thought it was interesting that she said 20 because there's 18 and then there's All the Girls You Loved Before. And then if we think of like Need,
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, did she really truly like
Was she
plan
going to do?
originally
Yeah.
for all those and she just cut them?
Yeah.
And I wonder why.
That's a good point. Yeah. Why? Why? Where is Need?
They were too Joe
need it.
specific.
We need
Just
it.
kidding.
Joe was like,
Actually,
nope, sorry.
The other ones. He's like, yeah, can you put Need on there and take
Instead
off
of-
like Afterglow?
For reals. That is what he would do. That is what he would do. I know. I don't even remember what part this was, but I wrote this quote down that she said. She said, without me writing my own songs, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And I
was
just
during
loved
this
that.
part.
Was it during this
Yeah.
part? Because I was just, I'm like, that's what I wrote next. But it's kind of
and
true. It like her
Oh, yeah.
writing her own music was a huge stepping stone for her career.
And she said that her storytelling is what sets her apart, and that's why she's here, and probably why she thinks she's so relevant. And then I loved how she said that, talked about how her and her fans have, grown up together. 'Cause
Yes.
obviously we're like, yes, we have.
Right there with you.
Yeah. I loved seeing, little young Taylor writing
know.
songs. And when she said, I've written 150 songs,
I
we're
know.
like, we know.
I was like, we literally just said this last
I
week.
know.
I wrote that
So
down too. I thought it
funny.
was so funny.
Yes. I got literally teary-eyed during this section when it was showing her younger self.
Yes.
During the yeah. Oh, did you say this too? Because I have it written down right after when she said, call in to request Tim McGraw. And then I'm getting so emotional
Wait.
watching her younger self.
Literally, my notes. Why did I almost cry when she asked everyone to call the radio station?
It's so cute.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I was like, why am I getting emotional about this? But I was.
totally did too.
That is hilarious. That is
So
so
funny.
funny.
Yes. And then it was showing her accepting some awards. And I love how even to this day, from beginning to now, she is always so happy and genuine when she accepts awards. She's so humble. She feels so honored and surprised and
Yeah.
So
Well, and it was cool in that speech, one of those first awards, one of the first things she said was I want to thank the fans.
yeah.
And I think it's cool that she recognized way back then And you could see it in the way she interacted with us. And like we talked about this a lot in our debut series about how much she wanted to talk with the fans, how much she wanted the fans to be involved. And she is still that way. And it's just,
Yeah.
it's cool. She's constantly talking about the fans and thanking the fans and connecting with the fans. And I have a lot of respect for that because I feel like at this point in her career, she could be like, yeah, I've made it because I'm really talented and I work hard, which honestly is the truth. But it's cool that she still recognizes like, without people listening to my music, I couldn't do this. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I agree. It then like transitions to the big VMA Kanye moment. And I think I say this every time we talk about it, but I always forget that Taylor Lautner was the
I know.
one that announced her for that.
Yes.
I always forget
I do
that.
too. I do too.
And
Until I see him up there. And then I remember
Yeah.
that he's brought it up of like, I didn't know it was happening.
yeah,
And
like,
he's
he didn't
mentioned
understand
like,
what was going on.
I regret not like stepping in. But like, what are you guys supposed to know or do about it, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And like Taylor Lautner's gonna take on Kanye.
Yeah,
Like
Kanye, yeah.
unfortunately in that situation, like you let him do what he's gonna do,
Yeah.
make a fool of himself, unless you're literally like security.
Yeah.
But that was hard to watch again. And I don't know. I mean it's fun. It's a lot easier to watch now.
Yeah.
Like because she's just gone so far past it. She's uber successful and Kanye is Kanye.
Trash.
Yeah. Garbage always takes
Yep.
itself out and he literally
It's garbage, yeah.
is the living proof of that. But yeah, I don't know. Just and we did a whole series, you guys. Like if you want more depth on this Kanye stuff, like we're gonna be very much just brushing over it in
Yeah.
this, but like there's so much to all the Kanye drama. We have episodes like fully on that, which are really interesting.
Yeah.
Especially about the phone call. Do you remember how many
Yes.
like aha moments we had with that phone call?
I remember you and me listening to the phone
Yeah,
call.
to the
that's
phone
like,
call.
yeah,
Like,
like
on
a
your
favorite
couch.
memory of me of our
Yeah.
mine. Yeah, it's fun. Great times.
But I thought
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, one, I mean, it's fun. She was getting the award for Best Female Video for You Belong With Me, which we obviously
Love around here.
And then so hard to, like, she said, they asked her if she had hard feelings towards him. And her answer was so impressive to me.
Yes.
At her age. She said, I don't know him and I've never met him. I was a fan before. I don't want to start anything because I had a great night. But that would be really hard because she probably saw Kanye and Beyonce as like major icons for her.
Yeah.
And then
Who
in that
didn't
big
at
moment
that
for
time?
her, they aren't like cheering, like congratulating her. They're like, you do not deserve this. And
Yeah.
as a young girl, new in the industry, you would be
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, maybe I don't deserve this. Like,
Yeah.
that would be what I would think.
Oh, 100%. Well, and it's sad because she said, I thought they were booing me. I
Yeah.
didn't realize they were booing him.
Yeah.
And it's true. You're like, people aren't going to boo Kanye West.
Yeah.
They're going to boo the girl that he just said didn't deserve this award.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
so
she goes
sad.
on to say, like, it made me start to think, like, I don't belong here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only here because I work hard and I'm a nice person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you do belong. You do.
Yeah. I did love the clip that it showed Obama calling him a jackass. I thought
Oh,
that
yeah.
was hilarious.
That was awesome.
But, and then she talked about how that moment was a catalyst for a lot of psychological paths that she went down, not all of which were beneficial. And yeah, just fueled by that feeling of like not belonging. And she said, thank goodness I had the work ethic that I did because like, obviously she could have easily given up in that moment, but
Yeah.
she said, I can't control it all, but I can control what I write. And I love that.
So good. It's so good. I think like shortly after that part, it shows her winning her second album of the year. And she goes, I got my second album of the year and I thought, that's all I ever wanted. Now what?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I loved how she said, when you're standing on the mountaintop,
yeah,
you think like, now what?
yeah. And
Yeah.
it's true. It's like, that's kind of like the peak for her
Yeah.
career is like getting an album of the year. She got that so early. I'm sure she thought like, let me get a second one.
Yeah.
But then to get a second one like pretty soon after?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
to then
and
be
like,
what?
people need to remember that Taylor's success in the music industry is not typical.
Yeah.
Like, she has sang in her songs multiple times, like, when am I gonna age out? When are they gonna be tired of me? And so, yeah, you almost wonder in that moment, she's like, so is that it? Like,
Yeah.
is my career,
Over?
is this the peak? Like, is this, like, and did I soak up all that time that, like, I just had? Like,
Yeah.
it's one of those things where it's like, I think of, like, people that get on Dancing with the Stars that have always wanted to be on Dancing with Stars.
Yeah.
It comes, they do it, and it's over, and they're like, oh my gosh, like,
Now what?
now, yeah, like,
Yeah.
I can't believe that's already over, and I kind of wonder if she had, like, feelings like that.
Oh, I'm sure. I do love, though, that here we are, 10 plus years later, and you can see that she still has goals. Like, she pivoted. She was like, okay, now what? And she came up with the what's. And it's cool
Yes.
that, like, I know people get annoyed at her for, like, trying to beat records still and trying to, still be the best. Why? And you and I have talked about this on the podcast before, so we don't need to get into it. But like, for reals, why are we so upset about somebody that wants to be the best
Yeah.
in their field? Like, that is so mind-blowing to me that we would ever be offended. And I mean, not to be all like, if I was a man, but
Yeah.
if she was a man, we would not be offended by
Yeah.
her big goals and like trying to
Yeah.
chase those. Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
For sure. And then she's, brings up the fact, like, I realized, like, I didn't have a partner to celebrate that win with me, and, like, shouldn't I have someone that I could call right now? Like, I have my mom, but, like, she, really wanted a partner, and obviously that's so fun and sweet to, like, see her have that now, and
I know. It was really interesting too, because then she talks about like it's hard for her to kind of have a normal life with plans because her life is planned out 2 years in advance.
yeah.
And I mean, we've
And that
seen
was
that.
then, and I
Yeah.
can honestly see it being even more
Hard.
intense
Yeah,
now.
I agree. And that's what I was going to bring up.
I mean, I can't remember for sure. Can you remember, did this documentary come out before Loverfest was announced? Do you remember? Because this would
I
have
want to
been,
say no, because this came out in January of 2020. And
yes.
I am pretty
So we
sure
already
we
had
had
tickets.
Loverfest tickets in 2019.
Okay. Because I was like, when she was talking about her life being planned in advance, she's
Yeah.
like, in a couple weeks, they'll call me with the next tour dates and be like, you're going to play in Foxborough. And
I know.
was like, was that a Loverfest Easter egg? But it's like, no, it was already,
Wasn't
that
Easter
was
egg, it was,
already
like, planned.
known
Yeah.
information, but I just thought that was funny.
It was funny. Going back to like you saying like, well, I had my mom. It was so heartbreaking. She said like, she started talking about her mom's cancer. And she goes, do you really care if the internet hates you today if your mom is sick from chemo?
Yeah.
And it's like I mean, I think all of us have moments in our life where we, get struck with something big that's happened in our life
Yeah.
that makes you take a step back and be like, oh yeah, like those things don't matter. Like
Yeah.
my family and their health and, the
Like,
people
if you
around
give
me,
them
that's
energy,
what
it
matters.
sucks. But, like,
Yeah.
give your energy to what deserves it. And that kind of,
Yeah.
I mean, that ties into what she talked about on Travis's podcast, too.
Yeah.
Like, you need to, like, keep your energy for what's important. And she said like it totally woke her up and that her family and her friends are her like biggest priorities. And
Yeah.
then we got our little special cute Taylor and Abigail
I love
moment.
it. I
It's
know.
so cute.
I wish we could
Sit
see
down
them
and have
together
dinner and
more
talk
too.
babies. I
I
know.
know.
I was dying. I kind of forgot that Taylor compared having a new baby to having a Tamagotchi. That was
I know.
so funny. I was like, I mean, yeah,
I had
it
forgotten
is.
they'd had that whole conversation.
Okay, yeah,
Like I had just forgotten, and watching it, I was like, "Oh yeah!" Like I forgotten
yeah,
that you guys had like way back then. I mean, it was only like what 6, 7 years ago, but she was talking about like kids and having a
yeah.
family, and
I love that Abigail said that she thought she'd make an excellent mother,
I
no
know.
questions. That was
Yes,
really sweet.
yes, yes.
I wrote a note down and I don't remember what exactly was going on because this
Okay,
was before, like, I have my next note is when she was leaving somewhere with like a crowd outside, like
okay.
waiting while she like, got in the car. But
Uh huh.
before that showed, I wrote down a note that I was like, why is this making me afraid for her safety? Like, there were
Oh,
some things that were shown, and I was like, why am I all of a sudden stressing out that like some terrible tragedy, like
oh,
someone is going
it's
to like do
gonna.
something to her?
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine. I would
Mm-mm.
feel like if I were her, I would have that fear every time I walked
Yeah.
outside.
Oh, totally. Well, it's wild too that she said, "So that's my apartment,"
Yeah.
as she was like leaving, and I'm like, and she's like, "I know that's not normal," but
Mm-hmm.
you would. It's just weird to think that even during the lover era or rep era, like whatever time we're at, she just would walk out of her house like that.
Yeah.
Like to me, I'd be like, where's all the security? You're
Yeah.
underground, all of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy.
Um, and then she gets into her eating disorder,
Yeah.
which I I never, and you and I are fairly naturally thin people. And it's interesting to look back. Back then, I never really thought that she looked like unhealthy
Yeah.
in the moment. Looking back, seeing her now, and
Yeah.
then you're like, you can kind of see it. But I also think part of that is the way that we were conditioned by
Totally.
media. It's like that is the normal, that
Yeah.
is the goal. She looks great,
Yes,
you
totally.
know?
Well, and I think it's hard because I mean, the other eras before this, she was naturally thin and pretty tall. And
Yeah.
so, to me, it was just like, oh, yeah, like you're a
It
naturally thin
didn't seem
person. It
odd.
wasn't odd. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now looking back, you can see, like, okay, as we all grow up and, that, okay, that wasn't a healthy size for her at that point. And she was doing things that were unhealthy to get
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I loved when she was talking about, though, that she learned there was always a standard of beauty that you can't obtain. So
I
it's
know.
like,
I
okay,
was
you want
gonna
to
read,
be, oh,
I
do you
wanted
have
to
like the
read
exact
that
quote?
quote.
Because I
Medium.
loved it. I only wrote down like just that little part, but I thought it was
Yeah.
so, I don't know. I had never like thought of it that way. Well, clearly I had at one point when she had said it, but she just goes on to talk about like, you're either going to be, did you find it or I'll, it's like,
You can keep talking.
just that like you're going to be thin and that's what you're striving for, but you won't have a big booty. If you want the big
Yeah.
booty, you're not going to be thin. If you want this, you're not going to
Yes.
get that. And I don't know, that kind of hit me. I was like, it's true. Like
Yeah, you
there
can't ever
really
win.
is, you can't win.
Yeah. I also, I mean, again, a lot of this I love because I love to see it then and to see the now or to see the
Yeah.
then and the before. And just I always remember her talking about like I thought it was totally normal to feel like you're going to pass out during or
Yeah.
after a show. And like truly back then in her health, she could have never done the Eras tour. It would have been
No.
physically impossible.
Yeah.
And she said, I didn't realize that, like, no, like, if you properly fuel yourself, like, you can perform like that and not
Yeah.
even feel it. And she just talked about how she's, like, so much happier now. And that when you're doing it and it's kind of gradual, you don't like totally realize that you're
Yeah,
doing it. But
I know.
it was interesting to even hear her like kind of slip into that mindset like on
Yeah.
camera, and she had to be like, nope, we
No.
don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, we don't do that
Yeah.
anymore.
I also love that she was so vulnerable and open about that
Yeah.
because it's something that a lot of people struggle with. And I mean, probably not something that she openly wants to admit that she struggled with. But
Yeah.
I love how she talked about it, and I thought it was really well done.
Yeah, it was so good.
Um, then she kind of moves into the like rep era and like the phone call, right? And
Yeah.
she said, you know, Taylor Swift is over was the number one trending hashtag. And
Yeah.
then she goes, do you know how many people have to hate you for that to happen?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is so true. To be the number one. It's still wild to me that that happened because she was so polarizing at that time.
Yes.
It
Yes.
was something that everybody was talking about.
Yes. And it's just funny because I just wasn't as aware,
Okay.
involved in
Involved,
like
yeah.
anything outside of just like
Her
her
music.
music at that
Yeah.
point. I definitely knew that some of that was going on, but I
Yeah.
feel like I was pretty not in the loop,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
is so funny. Like
You're
now,
like nowadays?
I'm like,
I
even
would
if I
never.
wasn't in the loop, it would be in my face.
Yeah,
Like,
no, totally.
I'd
Well,
be
and
in
I
the loop whether I
think,
was trying or not.
yeah, I never, like, I had a Twitter, but I never was very active on it. I
Hmm.
knew this was all happening and I knew she was number one trending and, like, I knew what most people were saying, but
Yeah.
I wasn't necessarily, like, in it reading it all and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I was kind of following what was happening, but not necessarily. Like, nowadays, I would have immediately gone on Twitter and
Hmm.
immediately been looking at everything and sharing screenshots, and it would
Yes.
have been also on Instagram and TikTok, and it would have been. Oh, I'm glad
Yes.
it wouldn't happen today, though.
I know. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
yikes.
Yeah.
But then we kind of move toward her. She says, like, I went into hiding. I just left. And
Yep.
then she talks about Joe for a little bit of time. And I do like that she
Hmm.
said, I was happy like I hadn't been happy before. Oh, go ahead.
This documentary makes me, it's really easy to forget and to just hate on Joe
I was
and
gonna say, I think
whatever.
we're
And
saying the same
am
thing.
I
Yep.
am I still a Joe fan? Like, not really, but
Yeah.
like truly they both served they served a purpose in each other's lives for that time.
100%.
And like it's okay that like it was good then and that it wasn't going to be forever, but
Yeah.
like truly the best thing she could have had at that time.
Oh, I totally agree. And like watching this whole thing and hearing her say that, like that's why I wrote that down. I was happy like I hadn't been happy before.
Hmm.
I think there are people that come into your life and are there at certain moments to teach you certain things. And I think Joe was
Hmm.
there to teach her, to help her get out of the spotlight for a little bit, teach her a different happiness that she's never felt before, so that in the future, she can have that same happiness, but with somebody that's okay being in the spotlight and probably a different
Yeah,
happiness. So I'm not necessarily like
totally.
comparing it, but I think you learn
Especially,
things from those people for your next
yeah.
relationships.
Well, and especially because she specifically said we were happy with no one else's input.
Yeah.
Like basically like we were in our bubble and so there weren't all these outward opinions like
Yeah.
making us question one way or another. Like we were just happy with just us, and I think it showed her like what that can feel like to feel that way.
Yeah.
But like you said, then later like knowing what that feels like but in the right
Yeah.
like relationship,
Environment. Yeah.
situation,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Totally.
Um,
Um,
I mean,
oh,
we've got some rep recording,
oh yes.
and I laughed so hard when she was putting on her glow shoes and she was like, I'm putting on my party shoes for
That's right.
vocals.
That was
Like, I
so
don't
great.
remember this at all, but this is
I didn't remember that
hilarious.
either. I was gonna say the whole getaway car scene.
So
I'm like,
good.
that's like
So
the other thing that
iconic.
always sticks out to me from
Yeah.
this documentary.
So iconic.
I think during that part too, there was like some rep recording, or maybe it was like right after this, and then it showed some rep performances like on tour. She was doing a great job. I have no qualms about that. But the whole time I was just like, man, the Eras tour was incredible.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
her performing the Eras tour and like watching it, like comparing to these rep performances, which
And the
were
rep
really good. I
and
have,
rep
yeah,
was the last tour she did.
yes.
Like
The
those are the two
growth.
to compare.
I was blown away. Like that's all I could think of while I was watching this.
Yeah.
Anytime she was on stage for a Reputation tour, I was like, this is great, but wow, has this woman improved?
Yeah. So
Which is cool.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It showed that little scene where she like runs over and hugs Joe, which
Yeah.
is like cute, I guess.
Yes. It was cute.
It
It
was cute.
it was cute until we saw, I was going to say
Oh,
like what a real man could do. But I don't mean it like that. But like I was thinking the same thing though. I was like, remember how she had to go find Joe, and remember
yeah.
how Travis was literally right under the
Under
stage
the stage.
waiting for
Yeah.
her? Like that's what you deserve.
Yeah.
Anybody listen to this? That's what you deserve.
Yes. And then we got our fun and really cringy behind the scenes of the rep room.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that. I was like, this is so cringe.
I know.
I was like,
And
I
like
wonder
when
how she feels about. Like you can see that she genuinely cares about these fans, wants to give them a good experience. But also I'm like, some of this was awkward. Like,
I'm sure every single night that she did those meet and greets after shows, like there were really normal positive
yeah.
experiences and there were also really cringy, weird,
Yeah.
uncomfortable. Like I
Which
loved when someone
is
was like, "You
crazy
look
that she
like a
still did them.
Barbie," and she was like, "Well, thanks." Like her reaction was just like so funny. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
And obviously the engagement.
Yeah.
She's like,
I
looks
mean,
at the girl. She's like, I didn't know this was gonna happen. Did you know this was gonna happen? And she's just
and then
like clapping, like,
high fives
yeah.
them both. I don't know why I was like, I don't know what else I would do. That's probably what I would do. But like, they got engaged and they're both just standing there and we're all high fiving. Like, a high five after
Yes.
engagement just feels funny to me.
It's so funny.
Um, I'm even like, I'm looking at my notes. I'm like, what comes next? I feel like
The
my notes
Me
got
music
like
video.
more sparse.
The Me music video.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I loved this part. I mean, it's fun to see her working with Brendan
Yeah.
Urie. But my favorite part is when she is explaining to him what the music video is going to be like. She's like, it's not going to be small. And
Yeah.
she's like, I don't remember everything she said, but she's like, there's going to be unicorns in theater and like this and that. And she's saying it's so animated
Yeah.
while visually on the screen they're showing
Uh,
the music video and like all those things in it. And I thought that was like such a fun moment on
It
it.
was. I am looking at my notes now. I'm like, oh yeah, look, that was my only note from that was we should make a reel for the video scene where she's talking about me. It's at 45 minutes. So that I would remember.
That's so
But
funny.
I was
It's
fascinated
good.
by it. I'm like, people need to watch this because it was really fun.
Yeah,
So
it's
that's
so
funny that you brought
fun.
that up.
Then we got to see her cute little cat backpack, which I always
Oh
think
yeah.
is so fun.
I know. I love that. Um I don't remember what part this was, but it like kind of tied back to what we had talked about at the beginning. And I was like, it just like reminded me of the storytelling aspect she's so good at. But she brings it back again of like, I didn't do anything that I could get in trouble for.
Yeah.
And I think this was talking when she's about to
She's
start
starting
getting
to
into
get into
politics, right?
politics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, man, this is so woven together so nicely.
I
But
know. The transitions between topics is
yes,
incredible.
yes.
But yeah, it was interesting how she said, I don't know that people want to know my political views.
Yeah.
Don't force your politics on people, just let them live their lives. She like said that in an interview. And that's like totally how she'd been kind
Yeah.
of conditioned
Operating.
and
Well, and I love that she talks about her court case, like
yes.
in this, and she goes, I was angry. There was like no sense of victory, even though I won. It was
Yeah.
so dehumanizing. And she's
Yeah.
like, this, like, all happened, and I had 7 witnesses and a photo. Like, what
Yeah.
happens to people that don't have that?
Yeah.
And I love that she, like, used that fuel of anger, and that's kind of
Yeah.
what made her realize, no, like, I need to stand up for what I believe in. Like, I can't let
Mm-hmm.
things happen without saying something that I believe in. And it was just really
Yes.
fascinating to see these different things that have happened to her to get to that point of being like, no, I need to take a stand.
Yeah. And it was fun too how they talked about the Dixie Chicks.
Oh, uh-huh.
And because she ended up featuring them
Yeah.
on the Lover album and talking about how, the Dixie Chicks mentioned one little political
Yeah.
thing and like
It
people
ruined
acted
them.
like it just ruined them and they specifically would tell Taylor like do not be like the Dixie
Yeah.
Chicks and she's like but I love the Dixie
Yeah.
Chicks like and like I don't know it's just I can't imagine having that many eyes on you
Yeah.
and having to triple guess every move you make every word you say
Yeah.
like just
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
Well, and she talks to her team saying like convincing them basically like I'm going to do
Hmm.
this. So
Yeah.
like this is what's happening. And then it was interesting right before she posted, her and Tree were talking.
Hmm.
And kind of what you were saying, Tree is like, my job is to figure out everything that could come from this. And they were
Hmm.
kind of talking about it. And it's true because there are so many different things that could happen because of one move she makes.
Yeah.
How hard would that be to live your life that
Seriously.
way? It's like,
Well, and
well,
I
yeah, you
loved,
need a publicist, but like even just for your own, I don't know. I couldn't do it. There's
yeah,
no
I
way.
know. And I loved how she said, she was like, well, if I get bad press for saying don't put a homophobic racist in
Yeah.
office, that's okay with me. Like, if that's the repercussion,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
like a consequence I can live with. That's
Yeah.
fine.
I also wanted to bring this up because I had forgotten about this. She said, like, this woman doesn't stand for Tennessee Christian values. I would know like I'm from Tennessee and I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, I forgot that she like said I'm
Claimed
a
that.
Christian
Hmm.
because there's a lot of people and it's fine like if she doesn't, connect
Like
with that
anymore.
anymore, but how many people
The
so
main people that hate
quickly,
her
yeah, are
are,
because she is not a Christian. I'm like,
yeah.
just interesting.
Yeah. Um, I thought it was interesting because I had kind of forgotten, slash, I don't know, even watching this documentary the first time, like I don't know if I fully realized like a huge fuel to her fire of standing up and finally saying her political views was because of the sexual assault case.
Yeah,
Like I don't remember those
I didn't.
being so tied together.
Same.
And it was, I mean, I loved hearing her talk about like when she sang Clean, your favorite
Oh yeah.
song, on the Ref
Skip.
Tour
Just kidding.
1 year after like she won the case.
Yeah.
I also think it's super iconic that she sued him for $1. I'm
Oh
so
yeah.
obsessed with that. And I just loved also that she said when talking about like, oh yeah, she said in terms of like her a sexual assault case and like talking about politics in general. She's like, I am just trying to like educate myself the best I can. And like I want to feel confident so that like where did it go? Oh, she was like she's like you need to know what you stand for and what you want to say. Like and cuz I think that's true especially like I think that was so smart of her to have that attitude because
Yeah.
say the Dixie Chicks, for example, say what I don't know what they said or what they did or whatever, but like say they said it kind of off the cuff and they weren't planning on it and maybe it didn't come across the way they wanted kind of a thing. But she's like, I think when you know exactly what like, what your truth is, like what you believe, what you support,
Yeah.
like anytime you talk about it, like you can be confident in it
Yeah.
because you know, like that's how you feel. And like people are going to disagree with you either way. But like at least you kind of got your point across in the best way that you
Yeah.
could. And then I just thought it was so cute how her and Tree were like freaking out
I
after
know.
she hit post on her post.
I loved it.
I feel like I felt that feeling before
Oh,
on like
totally.
a way smaller level, but it was
Yeah.
just kind of funny to like see that.
I know. And then it moves into her writing Only the Young, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything else you wanted to add before that? That was my
I just
next note.
had I just had written down that I loved the disco ball dress moment because I had been
I
obsessed with that
loved,
dress.
yes, same.
Yes. I was like dead set that is what I wanted to wear opening night of the Eras tour.
Oh,
And back then, like now you could maybe find stuff like
yeah.
online like that. And like, could I have DIY'd something? Could someone have DIY'd something? Yes. Could I have DIY'd something? No. No. So I did not ever get to wear
Yeah.
that. But that, like, that for me was like such a favorite outfit of
Same.
hers.
Same.
It's so cute. And then like, yeah, I just wrote down that like that politician like did still end up winning. I think she was really hopeful that like her
Yeah.
speaking up would like change the result, and it was really hard
Totally.
on her when it didn't. So yeah, then she, you know, she made the point of like, yes, it didn't work this time, but like we've got it on so many people's radar and to like pay more attention to politics and like every year like there's so many more like new registered voters and it's those new young people and it's like we can still like encourage them to, you know,
Yeah.
participate in politics
Yes.
essentially.
Well, and I love that she is so good about, especially with this. I feel like she did a really good job with it. This is who I am supporting. These are the reasons why. Please register to vote. Please
Yes.
educate yourself.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, she never really said, vote for this person or do this. It was, this is who I support and why. Everybody register to vote. Like, everybody does need to register to vote and educate yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just loved that message. I just feel like it was really well done.
Yeah. And I personally like this is truly like this is a very controversial topic. Politics are controversial. It's like super controversial for celebrities to talk about politics. And I just personally like I think just because someone has somewhat of an influence doesn't mean that they should not be allowed to like can we put some responsibility on consumers? Like
Yeah.
even if Taylor straight up came out and said, you should vote for this person, I should not just blindly do it because Taylor Swift said to do so. Like we have to take our own responsibility, but I do appreciate that she does take the approach, even though she felt extremely strong about that person not wanting them to be in office, she still took more of the like educate yourself. Register to vote.
Yeah.
Vote. Like, your voice needs to be heard. This will affect you. Like,
because
so
it does.
I love that.
I did too.
And I thought that this was interesting because she said it feels really good to be unmuzzled and taking the masking tape off my mouth, specifically about the politics.
Yeah.
Because she was like, you know, like it sucks to feel muzzled. And I don't know why my brain just like instantly was like, I feel like she probably felt a sense of feeling muzzled like when she's with Joe.
With Joe?
And like what she could write about.
Yeah.
Like I think she felt fairly limited. And honestly, like I wonder I mean, this is a stretch. This is amazing. I'm like, I feel like this
Let's
is
say,
maybe something I would say on our subscriber episode. I'm going to say it
say
anyway.
it.
Like, what if she did feel held back in albums like Rep and Lover? While they're great albums, they're like amazing. And Rep, she says like she's very open, vulnerable, whatever. Like you wonder if she couldn't full she didn't feel like she had the full creative freedom,
Yeah.
put everything into it that they didn't like because Lover didn't do well at the Grammys
Yeah.
either. Like
Yeah.
it started to change when we got into like folklore and stuff because
Yeah.
she was kind of trying to take it a different direction.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That's interesting.
Interesting.
I was also just thinking about it. I'm curious if she felt muzzled in her personal life, if it also made her, like with Joe, if it also made her feel even more of a need to unmuzzle herself
Yeah.
in the like politics and other things. She's like, oh, I feel like I can't say these things about this. I need to be able to speak my truth about something.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
And we didn't talk, they did show the writing of the man in this too. We didn't really talk about that, but
Oh,
it is interesting because the whole scene where she is talking to her dad, her management,
yeah.
her mom's in the room, her trying to convince them like I want to speak up about this and they're pushing back really hard. You do wonder, you're like, would they push back as hard on you
Yeah.
if you were a man? And not necessarily to say that her dad and her management team is treating her differently because she's a woman, but also
Yeah.
yes, because of how the public
Yeah.
will take a woman's opinion
Totally.
on politics.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just like
It's so
it's
true.
crazy. I am curious, like, now to see that. And, like, she hasn't really, I mean, she's said small things here and there since then about politics, but
Yeah.
really not that much. And I'm curious. I don't really expect her to do anything. Like,
Yeah.
I have zero expectations of her, but I am curious behind the scenes. Like, is she feeling that way where she wishes she could say things but she doesn't feel like she can?
Yeah.
Is she not? Is she content and feel like she's done
shared
what
what
she
she
wanted to
needed.
do, like she's whatever?
Yeah.
And or yeah, because I could see there being major, like there were safety concerns then, and that's kind of
Oh.
what they were talking about in that room, but now like major safety
Yeah.
concerns.
Yeah.
And
is
yeah,
sad.
do I think that Taylor's life is worth her sharing her political opinions publicly? Absolutely
No.
not.
No.
So,
Nope. I'm right there with you.
yeah.
I also love, I don't even remember what they were talking about, but when she says, was I loud in my own house with my own money earned from the songs that I wrote? What part was that?
That was like pretty close to the end.
Yeah.
That was another quote I was gonna try to find, but yeah, she was like, so, cause this is why, because she
It's
said,
like, what was right before this? I
So
did
she
not
said-
read context.
so first I want to say, sorry, I'm gonna like
no, go ahead, go
I have
back,
a few
yeah.
things before,
Perfect.
and maybe that will help. So I loved when she said, I want to wear pink and tell you what I think about politics. I don't think those things have to cancel each other out.
Yes.
It also showed her winning the VMA for
Oh, you need to calm
You
down.
Need to Calm Down, and that was really cute when that guy's like, if I win a VMA, I'm gonna freak out, and then they did. And then so she was talking, this is what you were talking about. She was talking about rejecting the misogyny programmed in her brain.
Oh, yeah.
She goes, there's no such thing as a bitch. There's no such thing as a slut.
That's right.
There's no such thing as someone who's a boss. There's just a boss. We don't need to be condemned for being multifaceted. And then she said sorry. And then she's like,
Oh, yeah.
why did I say sorry? Like, why did I say sorry? And so yeah, that's like,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, that's what it was. Because, yeah, then
yeah.
she says, yeah, was I loud in my own house? I just
Yeah.
am like, oh, I love that.
He's like,
It's
yeah,
so
sorry,
true.
sorry for being loud in my own
Yeah.
house with my own opinions, with my
Yeah.
money that I made, and
Yeah,
like,
with
yeah,
the songs
it
that I
was-
wrote. Yeah.
Yes,
I just loved
so
that.
good.
It's like, oh, so good.
Yes. And then yeah, ended with Lover promo in Times Square, Lover release. She had like a little get together. Do you think Joe was there?
No. Do you?
What? Probably not, but like,
I mean, maybe. I
why
should give him the benefit
not?
of the doubt, but he
Like
just
he was
doesn't
there, just
seem
not
like,
on camera.
yeah, he
I
just doesn't seem
know.
like a big crowd person necessarily.
Yeah.
Unless it's like absolutely required of him.
Yeah. Which is so sad because it was clearly like an intimate gathering with like
Yeah.
people close to her and that like helped with the album. And you know Travis
So
would be
maybe,
there.
oh, totally.
As long as he
Travis
didn't
would
have
have
another
planned it.
commitment. And, you know, maybe Joe could have had another commitment, but I kind of doubt
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I think it's so interesting how the timing of these documentaries, like the first one, Miss Americana,
Uh-huh.
ends like right as I guess technically, oh yeah, because she talks about in the documentary how her masters were sold out from under her, right?
Oh, uh-huh. Yeah.
And that happens like
That's
almost the
true.
same time as that.
Yeah.
And then the new one is happening like right after she reclaims them. But
That's
in
true.
neither documentary does she give any kind of
Yeah.
extra attention to that, which
Yeah.
is so interesting to me.
That
I don't
is.
know.
Huh.
But yeah, the last thing, I think it's the last thing she says. I loved it and I
Okay.
applaud her for it. She said, I want to have a sharp pen, thin skin, and an open heart. And I
So
feel like that
good.
goes perfectly with the end of Daylight where she says, I want to be known
Yeah.
for the things that I love and not the things that I hate. And I'm like, it's so cool to me that you can go through all these really tough things and still have that attitude on the other
Oh,
side of it.
yep.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of people would.
No,
Yeah.
definitely not.
That was fun.
That
It
was
was
fun.
nice to like force us to rewatch it. Not that it was like
Yes.
forcing, but it was like, okay, we
Yeah.
have to rewatch
To have
this
a
for
reason
this.
to.
So if you have
Yeah.
not rewatched it or watched it at all, definitely go watch it. Even if
Yeah.
you haven't and you just listen to this whole thing, like it'll be more fun
Worth
for you to like
watching.
go, yeah, rewatch still. So
Yeah, for sure. So fun. So don't forget to sign up for our Patreon to hear that
yeah.
super fun clowning episode. And the fun thing is, the second that you sign up for Patreon, you have access to all previous bonus episodes. And so
Yep.
you can just go and binge. Like if
Binge.
you're like, I don't get enough podcast content, like I want more, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was super fun to do this today to get back into the Lover series. And we're also excited because we're actually re-releasing some previous episodes the next couple weeks we're going to dive into Joe and Taylor's relationship. We
Yes.
kind of decided that last minute because it's super relevant to this series.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's incredibly important to do that before we do the song deep
Yes.
dives.
Yes.
And so we're
like
really
I
excited
need the
for that.
refresher. I need to re-listen to all of those
Yes.
to remind
for
myself
sure.
of what we're about to talk about. So I think it's going to be
Yes.
really good. Well, we hope you enjoyed today's episode, and it was a great reminder. This documentary truly showed us that even though Taylor isn't a man, she still is the man. Bye, guys.
Bye.